What if someone you've never met wrote something creepy in your yearbook, and then showed up at your house? That's exactly what happened to me on the last day of 8th grade. I thought it was just a dumb prank, until I saw them standing outside my window in the middle of the night. I always thought middle school was awkward but harmless. You know, passing notes, making fun of teachers behind their backs, and trading candy in the lunchroom. It wasn't until the last day of 8th grade that something happened that still gives me chills when I think about it. The day started like any other. Kids were buzzing about summer plans, sharing phone numbers, and scribbling messages in yearbooks. My friends were laughing, but I mostly kept to myself. I wasn't exactly popular, not I cared much. My yearbook looked like everyone else's, "Stay in touch," or "Have a great summer," scribbled in careless handwriting. But at the very bottom of the last page, in small sharp letters, someone had written, "I'll see you soon." I froze. My first thought was, who even wrote that? I flipped through the pages trying to find the handwriting style. It wasn't anyone I knew. I didn't recognize the name signed either. It wasn't a joke from one of my friends, that much was clear. I showed it to my best friend Jenna, trying to act casual. She leaned over, eyes widening. "Who's that?" she whispered. "I have no clue," I said, suddenly regretting ever asking her. We flipped back through the pages, scanning every message. Nothing else strange. But that line, it stood out like a scar. At first I tried to laugh it off. Maybe some kid thought it'd be funny to mess with me. I didn't even bring it up with my parents. Who wants to be that kid whose yearbook creeps everyone out? The rest of the day was a blur. We took awkward group pictures, signed more yearbooks, and packed our lockers. But that message stuck with me like a stone in my stomach. Even when I got into the car to go home, I kept replaying it in my head. "I'll see you soon." What did it even mean? The first signs. For the first couple of days after summer break started, I pretended everything was normal. I played video games, watched YouTube, and hung out at the park. But every time I looked out my bedroom window, I felt like I was being watched. I kept checking the backyard, scanning the trees and fence, but there was never anyone there. I told myself it was paranoia. After all, kids sometimes write creepy things just for laughs. Then one evening, about a week after school let out, I got a message on my phone. Unknown number. "Hi." My heart skipped a beat. I stared at the screen for what felt like forever before replying. "Me, who is this?" "Unknown number, you know." "Me, I don't." "Unknown number, but I see you." I immediately blocked the number, convinced it was a prank. I didn't tell my parents, only showing the message briefly to Jenna when we FaceTimed. "Probably some random creep," she said. "Don't respond." I agreed. But that night I barely slept. It was a Friday night a week later. I had just finished watching a movie when I looked out the window and my blood ran cold. At first, I thought it was a trick of the street lights or my imagination. But no. Standing just beyond the back garden by the side window of my room was someone. Tall. Motionless. The way they stood sent every instinct screaming at me to look away, butold. I stared, heart pounding in my ears. The figure didn't move. I could barely make out the face, pale, the dark eyes reflecting a dull glint from the porch light. I grabbed my phone, but my hands shook too much to unlock it. I quietly shut the window and locked it with trembling fingers. For the rest of the night, I sat on the floor with my back against the wall, staring at the door, too scared to sleep. The next morning I told my parents everything. At first they brushed it off. "Probably a kid messing around," they said. "Don't look out the window at night." But I insisted something was off. My mom's smile faded and my dad's eyes narrowed. They agreed to install new locks and even set up motion sensor lights around the house. It should have stopped there. But that night the knocking started. It was around midnight when I heard it, 3 bangs against the side window. I froze. My parents woke up instantly. My dad got out of bed, flashlight in hand, and checked the window. No one was there. The motion sensor lights flicked on briefly, illuminating the yard, empty. My dad checked the back gate, the fence, and even the neighbor's yard. Nothing. He told me it must have been an animal. But I knew better. The next few nights it happened again. At first sporadic. Then more frequent. Always around midnight. Always 3 knocks. Never a sound after that. A week later I found another message. It wasn't through text this time. Someone had slipped a folded piece of paper under my bedroom door. I hesitated before picking it up. My hands felt like ice as I opened it. The note read, "You can't hide. I'm right outside." I ran to my parents again, this time convinced I wasn't imagining it. They contacted the police. Officers came, checked the yard thoroughly, and even drove around the block, but there was no sign of anyone. It was like the intruder would appear only when we weren't looking. The police told us to stay calm and report anything strange, but deep down I felt powerless. My parents kept the lights on all night. I slept with the door locked and the TV blaring, but I couldn't shake the feeling that eyes were always watching me. It was the last straw. One stormy night I heard the knocking again. 3 sharp bangs. I couldn't stay frozen this time. I crept to the window and slowly and carefully pulled the curtain aside. What I saw made my stomach turn. There they were, standing inches from the glass. Face pale and drained of color. Eyes wide open, staring directly at me. They didn't speak. They didn't move. Their lips barely parted as if trying to whisper something, but no sound came out. My breath caught in my throat. I slammed the curtain shut and screamed for my parents. They rushed in. The lights went on. The window, empty. But I knew. It wasn't over. That summer, I learned that fear doesn't need proof to feel real. The messages stopped after my parents installed cameras and no one was ever caught. The police shrugged it off. My friends teased me. But I never forgot those eyes staring into mine. Even now, years later, I still get chills when I think of the last day of 8th grade, that final message in my yearbook, and the figure at my window. Sometimes, when I'm alone, I swear I hear a soft knocking at night. 3 taps. Always 3. This story is a reminder that sometimes the things we ignore, the creepy note, the strange message, can lead to something far worse. Be careful what you dismiss. Not everything is a prank. Let me know if you want me to format this with timestamps or add voiceover style cues for YouTube. If you've ever had something strange happen, or felt like someone was watching you, drop a comment below and let me know. I want to hear your stories. Don't forget to like this video if it gave you chills, and subscribe for more real scary stories that will keep you up at night. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload, because you never know what's lurking outside your window. Stay safe, and sleep with the lights on.